So final thing for myself, and I'll couple it in together, as I don't want to take too much more of your time here. But the heavyweights at different levels here, and you touched on it with Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. A lot of people are feeling that Johnny Fisher got the rub of the green there in the victory, and also Moses Itauma, who's climbing that ladder rapidly with a hellacious finish against Dennis McKean.
We'll finish on the positive. So we'll start with Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. The positive is what a fucking fight that was. It was brilliant. I loved it. It was just such a good fight. In the first round, I tweeted that Fisher was, he was landing some really good body shots, really good work. But Dave Allen was just being clever, looking to catch and parry and make Johnny work hard. And he did. And he just kept making him work hard, making him work hard. And then he started landing his own shots. And they had such a big effect. And after about maybe 5 rounds, 4 rounds, I think it was all Dave Allen. And he mauled him, he old manned him. There's some old school tricks in there. It was like chopping a tree down. And the positive, I feel for Johnny Fisher because you look online and a lot of people giving him shit or saying shit. It's not Johnny Fisher's fault. Johnny Fisher gave absolutely everything in that fight as a young heavyweight, very young heavyweight that's improving and he's learning his craft. He'll have learned so much from being in that ring tonight with Dave Allen. Dave's such an experienced fighter, being in with everybody, top level fighters, being in the gym sparring, top level fighters for years. He knows all the tricks. He's a quality fighter. People look at his record or see him in where he's openly said about how he's never prepared for these fights, blah, 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 and think that that's just him. We've always said, always for years, wish Dave Allen had taken this sport seriously. And it always pissed me off. I'll be honest with you, because after he's been beaten in a fight where he's had an opportunity, then where he said, "Oh, didn't even train for that fight," or did, and I'd be pissed off because I've worked with fighters where they don't get opportunities and they're never given the main event status and things like that. Like your Gavin McDonald's and people like that who've had to work for everything and they'll give it everything, and they don't get the acclaim and the big paychecks that Dave's had, and then that's always pissed me off. And tonight, I've seen it. I've been up at Jamie Moore's gym, taking fighters sparring, and then you just see Dave Allen in there, and you see him working hard. You see him in good shape. You think, fucking hell, I'm looking forward to this fight. You see him tonight in shape, focused, giving it everything to win, taking some hellacious shots to the body, to the head, flipping out. The shots that he took, the punishment that he took, but he was gritting his teeth, going in there with a plan to wear Fisher down. You see what he did, what he gave, and what he'll have left of himself in there as well. And for him to get his moment, I felt sorry for him, and that pissed me off. That did just more than when I've heard him after a fight saying, "Oh, I never even trained for that fight." Tonight, that pissed me off more because he's somebody that where he's shown, right, I'm doing everything right now. And he did everything right and he performed right. And the right result would have been him winning and he didn't get it. And it stinks and it's shit. And I didn't realise that would have been, somebody said that would have been his first professional belt. He's never actually won one. And it'd be nice for him to get a title out of his career. But again, Fisher's going to come back as a better fighter. Don't just write him off and say, "Oh, he's this, he's that." Oh, he's got. Dave Allen can punch. We've always said that. He's very heavy-handed. He's very clever at what he knows. And that was a really good lesson for Johnny Fisher in there. And Johnny Fisher's a really nice guy. Dave Allen's a really nice guy. They're good people, Just because, like, you can't hold it. A lot of people hold it against because he's a big ticket seller and that gives you a leg up. And that does have the promoters want to look after you more and you get built up and you get looked after. Whereas somebody that doesn't sell tickets, like plenty of fighters out there, they have to scratch their way through to the top. But while you're being built up, you've still got to be good enough, and you've still got to be improving. And Johnny Fisher's been improving. You can see that from where he started to where he is, he's been improving. Now tonight, he ticked a very important box. He might not have, in my eyes, he might not have won the fight, and in my eyes, definitely got beat. But he ticked a very important box in there, and it's generally a box that you can't coach. It's not something to do with a trainer. It's not something to do with what. It's have you got it or not? Have you got the toughness, the heart, and the determination that when you're fucked and when your head starts getting scrambled and your legs can hardly keep you up and you're getting hurt repeatedly, can you hang in there? And do you hang in there and still try and win, or do you hang in there and just try and get through to the bell? Johnny Fisher hung in there when he was hurt so many times and when he was absolutely gassed. We know that Dave Allen does that, and he showed incredible toughness, and he was gassed as well, and he kept taking elation shots. But as a prospect, Johnny Fisher ticked that box of heart and desire. That's so important. He'll continue to improve under Mark Tibbs. He'll get better. He's a very young heavyweight, so it just means, all right, just slow him down a little bit. I keep saying about it, you rushing these prospects and stuff like that. It's great, but just he's not ready to go anything beyond this. Keep him at this, yeah, because he'll learn from that. He'll come back better. But I think you got to make the rematch because Dave Allen deserves it, and Johnny Fisher, he takes away, learns from that. Let's see what you've learned, son. Off you go. But the result was bullshit. But that's not a slight on the prospect. If the where I feel sorry for Johnny Fisher is if he'd have lost tonight, we'd have been talking about his nuts and guts and how determined he were and what heart he showed in that. Oh, he'll come back better. But that don't get spoke about now because it just gets spoke about as I got a gift decision. Oh, it's fucking bullshit. This. Do you know what I mean? So I feel nobody won in that situation.
Let me just give you a prod towards the other half of that question. Moses Itauma
Yeah,
as well.
Moses, fucking hell, mate. He's my favorite. He's my favorite heavyweight prospect in the world. I can't see anybody that's as good as him that's coming through. He's got. I'm told because I've never seen it, but I'm told by people who've watched him since he was 15 years old. The kid can take a shot. If he can take a shot, it's scary time in that division because he's got everything. He's got everything. If he's also got an engine to be able to do what he's doing, be as athletic and punch as hard in the latter stages of championship fights as what he does in the early stages, if he's got that as well, boy, he's nailed on to be a heavyweight champion because he punches so hard. He's athletic, he's dynamic, but he's so fast. He's so fast. I'm watching him, and obviously I was around David A as a cruiserweight going into a heavyweight, and it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the cruiserweight David Hay. That speed, that sharpness, and you can just turn your lights out like that. And yeah, he's very very good, and he's so young. He's so young, and that's what's frightening. He's just a baby, so he's another one. Bags of time to learn, and it's exciting times. It really is. And you just think about as he's going the fights domestically, there's obviously like we was just on the group and a few names we're all thinking about who we can be fighting domestically, like, and there's Adelaide, there's Fabio Wardley, like even like who mentioned it? I think somebody mentioned Joe Joyce. I won't like to see that fight, but you can see how that fight could get made. But there's a lot of fights domestically that him and Fabio Wardley, and then when he gets let off the leash, him and Daniel Dubois. There's some great fights ahead. So it's gonna be an exciting ride.
Exciting, right? Indeed. Good place to leave it. Dave, thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out in the immediate aftermath of Usyk Fury 2. On behalf of Seconds Out as well, I hope you have a great Christmas as well too.
Cheers,
And
man.
lots of presents under the Christmas tree
Yeah,
on.
hope you have a great Christmas. I hope everybody that's watching this has a great Christmas, and keep supporting the sport, keep supporting our sport, because when we get it right, it's a great sport.
Indeed. Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you.
Cheers, man.